And we are back. Welcome everybody to another live Penny Gas podcast on this beautiful Friday. Well, it's mid afternoon here, might be evening time wherever you are in the world. I just got done watching MotoGP free practice one. I have not watched the second practice yet. Have you had a chance to watch it yet, Brian?
Man, I'd be honest with you, I don't even watch it at all. I watch highlights, but I don't watch it.
Yeah, I'm a nerd, so I watch it religiously. Right, all racing. Yeah, it's It was good. It was good. I'm excited to see they're at Jerez this weekend. So yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I know Marquez has been absolutely murdered in on that Ducati. So
That's what I hear in the highlight reels.
yeah, and then a lot of the talk now is 2027 Pedro Acosta and Toprak at Honda HRC MotoGP. I don't know.
Badass.
I mean, that would be good. Real quick, before we get into the SuoerFooligans and all things Moto America, what do you think of that prospect of Top Rack actually going to MotoGP? Do you think he would actually make it?
Man, I don't know. Those guys are all so far beyond any skill set I imagine to have that, like, for me to judge their career path and building their teams and what they do, McMahon, I have no business commenting on that, and I race. So I man, I hope everyone involved gets the most sponsors and gets the baddest ride. And man, I want them all to do well, even the ones I don't like. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Brian. I wish nothing but the best for everybody. I want to see close battles and close racing. I'm bored and tired of MotoGP's done become the Ducati Cup, which Dorner let happen. So
Yeah.
I love to see Honda coming back in the mix. I love Yamaha with the new V4 engine. They're not racing it. I know they've been testing it. I love to see Fabio did good today. So did Alex Rins. That's what makes racing, not just one manufacturer, right?
Absolutely.
It keeps people interested instead of it was like let's see, Cam Bobier and Jay Gagne there for the past couple years in Moto America, where Gagne just absolutely mopped the floor every time he showed up, and Gagne too the past couple years, right? It was who was good to be second and third.
Yep.
But yeah,
But there's been pretty good battles regardless. But I think a lot of that depends on the track and on the track conditions. Rain races are always pretty impressive. You get guys that aren't normally there that are doing really well. Whatever can equalize machinery. And I mean, that's on all levels: club racing, MotoGP, Moto America, everything.
absolutely, Brian. But yeah, dude, welcome back, bro. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. I can't wait to finally meet you at Road Atlanta, bro.
Thanks, man. It'd be good to meet you too.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a good time. I'm hoping my stickers will be here. I got some stickers coming. I'm gonna bring you. So
Sweet. We'll
yeah,
put them on our Nordo gray machinery.
I love it, man. I love it. So listen, let's get into it. Our first podcast, man, it was absolutely amazing. I've had a lot of great people reach out to me, said they absolutely loved it. You're a star, dude. Did you know that?
No, I don't think so, man.
But yeah, so SuoerFooligans, man, I love that name. I love the concept. I love what you're doing, with the whole rental program and all that. So let's do a catch up, man. What's been going on since the last time we talked with the rental program and SuoerFooligans and all that?
Oh man, we so on the bike front, we've been riding the struggle bus for real. So um, the bikes are easy to get into. The SV1000, there's a lot of interchangeable parts. You can pick them up cheap. I've had a ton of fun building them. We've had a bunch of laybacks as far as our engine builds. Man, we've had um, we've had a set of adjustable cam sprockets at 4 machine shops, and they don't make them anymore. And the machine shops we've had them at aren't able to replicate them with any reasonable price point. Adjustable cam sprockets, they're 2-piece. So if there's any machine shops out there that can anneal and heat treat and create these adjustable cam sprockets, we have them. We would love to have like 6 sets made. But yeah, we've had them at 4 shops. No one is been able to replicate the ones we've got. So adjusting cam timing has proven to be very difficult. You got to press them off and, be very intricate with a degree wheel and have a steady hand, and it's time consuming, and it's been a pain in the ass. And so we've got what I consider big engines being built, but they're not ready. There's been a bunch of issues with that. And slipper clutches, we've had slipper clutches being made. Fred at Yo-Yo Dine's helping us out with that. They never made a slipper clutch for these bikes. And in the process of doing so, I think I've tried to fit different designs twice, and now Fred has a complete motorcycle up there that he's outsourced some machining on to have a slipper made for us. So suspension has been done for a while. I took one of the bikes down to Jennings and did some preliminary testing, and it was good. It was responsive. It was a big ass SV. It was very easy to ride, I guess. Nothing awe-inspiring, but it rode well. We're making good power out of stock engines using some 3D printed parts and some creativity on our side. And so we've been able to gain from a stock engine. The initial dyno was, like 106 horsepower, and now we're making 18 more horsepower, making 124 horsepower, and we gained, I think we gained like 13 foot-pounds of torque, and we haven't touched the internals of it, so that is pretty impressive. Now, we need to do the head work and everything, but our buddy Greg had head work done and some cams, and now his bike's running lean. So he's messing with injectors and everything to try to get a little more fuel flow. We haven't encountered that yet, but I'm sure we will. And so yeah, man, right now, Monday morning, I've got to drive to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and pick up a bike that we've got up at Travis at Platinum Performance. He's doing our dyno work. I got to pick that up, and then Tuesday, either me or one of my guys are going to drive to New Jersey and pick up the second bike from Fred. We'll load up and pack out Wednesday and leave early Thursday morning to head to Road Atlanta. And man, it's going to be sink or swim. Good, be tired and overworked and underprepared, but fuck it, we'll be there.
Dude, I love the attitude, and I couldn't imagine the struggle with the whole slipper clutch and getting the cams made and all that stuff. That's a huge difference, with the cam profile and the timing and all that good stuff that goes along with it. That's unlocked horsepower waiting to happen right there.
Yeah.
As far as the SV, man, I've always was a huge fan of SV. I think it's a great platform. And when you said you went out and tested it, it makes a lot of torque. So it's like you said, it's easy to ride. The power is very linear. I think I said that right. Where you crack on, everything's right there. You don't have to wait. There's no big hidden power. It's just all right. Pulls really good. I can't wait to see the bikes, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, they look pretty decent. Chris Parrish did our body work, so we got there's no real bodywork rules. I mean, there are some, but like the tail is pretty open to interpretation. So we've got probably the most aerodynamic tail that we could come up with, that Chris designed. And we got a big ram air intake that we're testing. There's no rules on that. The air box is open. Chris designed a huge ram air box for us. And I'm excited to get that out. And we'll have everything to tune. We're using Woolwich to tune the fuel injection and timing and everything. And that is, man, you can do so much with that. So we've got it dialed in pretty well. So we'll make some fine adjustments when we get to the track. But we're not going to have much time, man. There's like 47 entries for SuoerFooligans, I think. So they're breaking up practice into two groups and qualifying into two groups. And we've got less time. I think it's 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes. And so fuck. Those guys are going to go fast, and we're going to have to go as fast as we can. And I don't think we'll have any issue making the show, but it's going to be a lot of oh shit moments, I'm sure.
That's part of the journey, right? Is showing up, being as prepared as you can, and just letting it all hang out and have fun at the end of the day. That's what it's all
Oh yeah.
about. Dude, we got Jeff Serving up in the house. He says, "Tuna, what is up, Jeff, man?"
What's up, Jeff? I just placed my food order from him this morning.
I seen a post he had just put saying that he's going to be Thursday at 5 p.m. delivering off Chef Eats Meals at Rudd Atlanta. So if you guys have not put in your order yet, please do so. Go to his Facebook page. He put out a thing to where he'll deliver it at Thursday at 5 p.m. at Rudd Atlanta, but hurry up and get those orders in. So yeah, I was hoping Jeff was going to be there for the whole weekend, but I think he's got a CMP event, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he said he was going to be at NCM.
Yeah,
at some point.
NCM, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but beyond that, I'm not sure. He said he's like an hour and a half from Road Atlanta, is where he lives, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, man, I'm excited. You know, is the whole concept, what you're doing as far as renting a super hooligan and getting people involved in the sports, absolutely amazing. I wish you nothing but success in it, and I feel like it's going to be a very successful adventure for you. The concept to me is just absolutely awesome. You're the only one doing that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in this, it's not new by any means.
No, it's not.
The first time I was, it was brought to my attention leasing pro bikes was I rented a bike from a guy, an XR 1200. Back when AMA Pro did the XR 1200 series for Indianapolis. We were the support class for the MotoGP round, and that was amazing. That was bucket list for me. It was like, we were in the MotoGP paddock. It was fucking amazing. We didn't belong there. I had like 15 crew members that weekend because everybody wanted to be in the pit, and hell, half of them weren't there most of the time. They were off getting autographs and shit. Then the following year, I leased a bike from Kyle Wyman and did the same thing again at the MotoGP round, and it was just amazing, And if I can replicate that even cheaper in modern times for guys to, create their bucket lists and can live their dream, I had people reaching out to me for the Road Atlanta round, but I wasn't confident that I was going to have bikes that were honestly good enough to put out there. And so I didn't want anybody to waste their time. And there was one guy who was real insistent, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to do it. I was like, "Nah, man, give me a little bit more time. We'll probably have 3 bikes available for lease at Mid Ohio. I've got one rider entered on one of our bikes. Well, he's not entered yet because registration's not open, but for Laguna Seca. And so we plan to have 3 bikes at Laguna. And the Ridge, I don't know. We're going to the Ridge. I haven't had too much interest in the Ridge yet. But, we're excited about it. The bike, as it stands, makes more torque and more horsepower than my Triumph did that I was racing in Super Sport last year. That Triumph made 120 horsepower. This old SV is making more than that right now. So it doesn't have the electronics that the Triumph had, but it's also not a $20,000 bike. So we'll be fine, and the bikes will be good. I just wish we could get the engines worked out so we had a little more power, because those boys were flying at Daytona, man. Jesus, no fairings, running their asses off on the high banks. So that was pretty impressive.
Bro, in that last pass from Jake Lewis, dude, are you kidding me right now? I was like, holy shit. What? That was awesome.
That was nuts. I mean, you see a lot of slingshot moves, but holy shit, that dude, he was going 20 miles an hour faster. It was crazy.
Bro, it's almost like he had a 7th gear in that bike, right? He was waiting for the last lap to slot it in. Yeah, it was
right.
I love that. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, he had a sneaky Pete bottle under his tail section or something.
Right.
Little
right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I had a little knob up there, just let me turn this on real quick. And yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great, man. Daytona was awesome. It was my first time there, so yeah, it was it was amazing to see the atmosphere, the people. It's different. It's Daytona, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's historical, man.
Absolutely, it is. And just to touch base on that SV 1000, man, it just goes to show the potential of that engine, and actually the chassis and the whole bike, really, the potential it has to be unlocked to be competitive even right now to this day.
Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds silly because the bikes are 20 years old. Um, but yeah, they were never really developed. There's plenty of room to grow, and I'm just a hobby racer, and I run a little shop here to pay for my racing, but I'm not really good at anything. So if if these got in the hands of some guys that really know their shit, man, it would be impressive. But the guys that really know their shit, they don't want to mess with a 20-year-old SV. What they've got newer, nicer shit to mess with. But what's one thing that's really cool is we ended up with one of the Road Racing World M4 MGO Moto ST bikes from back in the day, and I reached out to John Ulrich, who I sent him pictures. I sent the Moto ST tech sticker and everything, and he's like, "Yep, that's ours." And he's stoked, man. He sent me a membership, like a what is the term I'm looking for? Like a contributor's membership to the magazine, so I can search archives and write an article for the magazine about resurrecting one of their old bikes. And he sent me a picture from a magazine back in 2007, I think, with this exact bike on in the article, in one of the articles about how they won the Moto ST championship. And that bike had been sitting in a warehouse in Florida for 10 years, and then it was sitting in another guy's garage for 5 years, and I bought it sight unseen, and that's the one I'm picking up in Fort Wayne on Monday. So full circle, man. Like, it's just cool that thing's coming back out.
I love it. I remember that bike vividly. Yeah, who wouldn't? But that was the golden days of racing. Yeah, so dude, Road Racing World in an article, bro. When's that gonna happen?
Oh, whenever life slows down a little bit, I guess. I figure I'll probably write it after Road Atlanta, because up until now, I've just got the story about, how I acquired the bike and the conversation and the building. So I figure I'll write it after we go and, give it a shot. And I assume, John was wanting to check out the bike when we get there. So, that'll just be a little more talking points. And I could probably write a couple articles throughout the year about it. He seems pretty open to it. So, maybe it'll be a progression. The first one can be about finding it and building it, and the first time out, and then the second submission could be about improvements and everything. I'm hoping we have the good engines in before the Ridge. I've never ridden the Ridge. I've never ridden Laguna, so a little extra horsepower would definitely be helpful.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I think that's absolutely proper mega, as I always say, Brian. Dude, writing an article, I think that's exactly what you said. First article, acquire how you got it, how you come to find it, get the machine, and then yeah, the whole Road Atlanta theatrical write up, and then future articles of Bond, and who knows what doors this is going to open for you too as well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll find somebody with a machine shop that can make some cams properly.
I'll put the word out there. If there's any of my friends out there in the industry, I mean, we basically got the same friends anyway. I'll see what I can do. There's a bunch of machine shops around here too in Roanoke where I live that are good at. Because we got I'm not into drag racing. I forget the guy's names, obviously, because I'm not into drag racing, but that drag racing show you see on TV, well, a bunch of those boys live around here and they have machine shops, and they're always the guy that does Megalodon, Brett, I think his name is. You know what show I'm talking about? The redneck drag racing on anyway.
You're talking about the farm truck or whatever. Like I don't really watch TV. I don't know, man. Like there's some drag racing show where guys supposedly meet up on the street.
That's it. Outlaw racing.
Street outlaws.
Street outlaws. Yeah. So a bunch of those boys live here in Virginia. Yeah, they do obviously all their own work on them nitrous, blah blah, whatever they are. Buckets with four
Fast,
wheels that go
fast
fast, right?
cars.
Street Outlaws. Thank you, Mario. Yes.
There we go.
So yeah, I'll reach out to see if we can make that happen for you, man.
Cool.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
that's a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
project.
otherwise we've been doing all right. Just trying not to spend a ton of money. The 06, 07, or even an 08, 09 GSXR front wheels swap over to these bikes. So they're quite a bit lighter, and so that's a cheap improvement. But unless we go to an 8-inch or unless we go to a 6-inch rear wheel, I haven't been able to find any rear wheels that will swap over without spending a shit ton of money.
Is it the
And
clearance issue with the swing arm?
no, it's really the axle diameter and the hub spacing.
Yeah.
I thought the 06, 07, 08, 09 rear wheel would swap, but it's not wide enough. So then you got to make spacers and all this shit. And with us having so many bikes, we're trying to keep everything uniform. So, and man, these old SV wheels are heavy. And I was looking at the tire allocation, and it's the same. What I'm told from talking with Anthony, the Dunlop guy, is we're going to run the same tire compounds as the Twins Cup, and we'll be offered the 180 tire and a 200 tire. And it's like 180 is great with a heavy wheel. It's like my only option for a combination, or run a lightweight rear wheel with a 200 tire, and I don't think the lightweight would benefit the drastic tire size change. But that's just old bike problems, and we'll figure it out. I'll probably spring, here maybe before the ridge, and I'll buy a couple nice rear wheels to lighten it up some, but not right now.
Listen, I totally understand. I remember when I got my RC51, first thing I did was buy new tires for it. And I was like, holy shit, this front rim and the rear rim weigh like 1,900 pounds alone, right? I was blown away on how heavy those rims were. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
a lot of rotating weight to be pushing around too, as well. So the lighter the wheels are, the better the suspension, the quicker it revs, yada yada yada, the better it handles, all that good stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the handling improvements is amazing. I remember when we put a forged front wheel on our endurance bike, it was like, holy shit, felt like a different bike.
the way it turned
So
in, yeah, dude. Even
yeah.
down to the feeling that it gives you as you're riding on the front is it speaks a different language, so to speak. Yeah, I tell everybody, man, they want to buy the bike and then they want to put the $6,000 exhaust on. I was like, why don't you buy a set of rims? It's better than that $6,000 exhaust you want to put on it, right? Get you a set of aftermarket rims, way better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best
But then
bang for the buck.
street guys just want loud bikes. They're not looking for power; they just want people to hear them. Which, I mean, there's a safety aspect to that, but I don't know. I like loud bikes. I can't say shit.
Dude, we all love loud bikes. None of us can can say shit, right? Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, look, man, I'm really looking forward to meeting you at Road Atlanta, bro. I know I keep saying it. I'm just super excited to finally full circle for me and you and our journey, right? It's going to be good. Yeah, I would definitely want to sit back down again several times this year throughout the season, follow you, the SuoerFooligans, and all the updates and all that. Looking forward to the Road Racing article coming out. I think that's absolutely awesome, Brian. That's fucking awesome, dude. Being able to do that, and again, the doors that might open alone for you. I mean, it's
I'm excited that he's excited about it. But I guess that would be, if I found someone racing my old bike from when I started, that'd be awesome. It'd be really cool just to see that it's still out there, and especially a bike, that, has some history, some pedigree of some sort, it's cool. We actually ended up with 2 of them from their fleet back then, but the one at this point is pretty unrecognizable. But the one that I had spoke with him about is definitely identifiable. So
How did you find this bike?
Oh man, I made a post on the Wera forum and was like, hey, I know there were a bunch of them back in the day. I'm searching for SV1000 track bikes, and people started sending them. And I believe I was probably put in contact with 5 people, and I think we bought 4 of the 5 that we found. And because it's not just me, I've got 3 working on a 4th. And my buddy John's building one. Andreas is building one. My friend Andy Forrest is building one. And I've bought a bunch in the process and, used them for parts, street bikes with exhaust systems and stuff, and swap out good parts and resell them and whatnot. And so the Ulrich bike, we had actually, it was a mechanic that used to work for, a guy in Florida. He's a lawyer. Isaiah Law. It's like he's got his stickers on a bunch of bikes from back in the day. I think he raced in, he might still race now, and I can't remember. CJ something, CJ Law, CJ something. Somebody on this podcast can correct me. I can't remember. I've never met him, but he's a South Florida guy, and all of his bikes are like bright pink, bright yellow, and whatnot. And apparently, the guy that had the bike was a mechanic or worked on the crew for the Road Racing World guys back in the day. He ended up with the bike on some sort of trade and rode it a couple of times. The tires on it were from 2007. I'm pretty sure. No, 2011. I'm sorry. And the last time I think it was raced was 2007. So it had been chilling. It's a Suzuki. It's an old Japanese sport bike. So I put a fuel pump in it, freshened the fluids, and fired it up, man. And it no issues. And then, once I realized it was mechanically sound, we went through and freshened the suspension and checked the valves. They were good. These SVs, they like to throw magnets off the flywheel, so I checked those. And that's about it, man. Then we took it to the dyno after we did the airbox and exhaust and everything, and she's a ripper. She's ready to go. Got a quick shifter on it. Fuck, it's the same rear sets that have been on it for 20 years, It's it's hilarious is what it is.
I love it. I love the old bikes. I think I'm like you. I'm a huge fan. And the rear sets are on there. They work. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I ain't replacing them.
I wouldn't either. They're probably worth some money, to be honest with you. It might be.
Oh, I don't know. They're worth having on a bike to me.
Facts, 100%. Good buddy, my Israel. What is up, Israel? Man, Israel just bought my buddy Rob Oliva's 748 that he's taken over there to the UK to race. Super excited about that, Israel. Yeah,
I saw that on Facebook, and then he had to bypass his AC compressor.
Yep,
saw that.
Yeah. So he says going to need some juice with MA appearing sticking to that qualifying percentage. Those guys up front have at least 170 horsepower.
170 horsepower and 100% more talent. We're all right.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love the whole underdog. I've always been a fan of anything in sports being the underdog, right? That alone is a story in itself. I think you guys are going to be fine. A good buddy of mine in California just bought a TL1000S, and I was like, dude, that thing is sweet, right? I've always been a big fan of those too as well. And he just re-put it together, did the suspension, it had been sitting for a while. Same thing, fuel pump, plugs, all that good stuff. So it's an awesome bike, man. The only thing I don't like about it is it's black, and I really didn't like the Hunter green. It was that green color they had for emerald green or whatever it was they had.
Oh yeah, that was in like the '97 model alone, I believe. I think that was the first year only that green.
Yeah, I think it was.
Those are cool. We bought me and Andreas bought literally a truckload of TL1000 engines and engine parts, and we thought a lot of it would be interchangeable with the SV, and some of it is, but like the jugs, the pistons, the cranks, that's about it. The cams use a different cam chain pitch. there were just a bunch of intricacies that we couldn't use much of it. So kind of sucked. We were hoping to be able to swap some TLR cams in there and get cheap power, but it didn't work out. And again, there's probably some machine shop that could make some shit work, but that's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about machining. I can cook.
Cooking too.
I can cook.
I can cook breakfast. That's about it.
That's your forte is breakfast cooking?
Breakfast, man. We got all these chickens somewhere back here. And yeah, I like cooking breakfast. I can cook dinner okay, but I'm pretty good at breakfast.
So Andreas who?
Dude, I don't even know how to pronounce Andreas's last name. It's Jaremo.
That's what I thought you was talking about. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. Yeah, he's fast too.
Yeah, Andreas has been helpful with a lot of this, and he was wanting to kind of bucket list thing to try his hands at the pro rounds, and he was going to do it on a twin, and then was like, well, his best shot would be something with a larger qualifying gap, which last year was 115 in the SuoerFooligans. Now it's 112%. And he was at Daytona and made really good progress throughout the week, but didn't make the show. And he's like an engineer of some sorts, does some third-party stuff for GE. And he gave us the measurements for our velocity stacks of what he thought is mathematically would make the most power, and it did. So what he sent is what the final one we ended up with. We tried 7 different velocity stack profiles. We tried dimpling. We tried different size bells, different heights, and what he sent worked. And yeah, so he's registered for Atlanta on an SV1000 as well, and so is Greg Reisinger. And so is CJ. And I think Greg was also at Daytona, didn't make the show. I don't think CJ went. But
I seen CJ there. CJ and his wife showed up. We hung out for a little bit.
Okay. I don't think he tried to qualify. I don't think he was on track.
No, he wasn't. He just showed up. I think, when did I see him? I want to say it was Saturday or Friday. Or both days. I can't remember. I just remember I turned around and CJ was like, Simcoe. I was like, bro, what is up, dude? And it was the first time I actually met his wife too as well. So
oh, cool. Yeah, I met CJ years and years ago. I haven't seen him in person in quite a while. So
him and a good buddy of mine, Billy Pedro, he's gonna be there at Atlanta too. So I love to go to the races and see all my friends. It's I only get to see you guys a couple times a year, and I really I take it all in and really enjoy it. So Jason Doss says, "What is up? What's up, Jason?"
Hello.
Yeah.
We can bullshit in the paddock, and if you want to see us, just look toward the back of the pack on the track, and that's where we'll be.
Oh man, I love it. Are you going to be? You don't know exactly where you guys are going to be parked at the track yet, do you?
Man, I don't know. I do know that I paid like an extra $150 to park my fucking rig, because if it's over a certain size, Moto America's like, yes, we want you to look professional, but don't bring any big shit, or we're going to charge you $150 to park it. Yeah. So, I've got that RV back there, wherever the hell it is, and personally got a nice RV that my family and I travel in, but we use it for racing. And so we got that, and I sent them the dimensions, and Jason, the parking guy, wrote me, and he's like, "You're full of shit. That's bigger than this size." He didn't say that, but that's basically what he said. And I was like, yeah, well, we're going to be hauling multiple bikes in it, so what would you rather us do? Split up in 3 different haulers that fit the confines that you give us, or pack it into one larger unit and save more space overall? And they didn't give a shit about that. So I had to pay $150 to park this thing. And you would think if you're paying extra money to park, maybe you'll get a good spot, but they'll probably put us up on the 3rd tier like we have been the last 2 years.
Yeah. I'm excited. Jeff Servin said, Jason Dahl says, I'm driving down Wednesday. I'm leaving early Thursday morning. As soon as my son gets on the bus at 8, I'm headed to Road Atlanta. I'm staying with a buddy of mine. He only lives 20 minutes from the track. So,
Nice.
me and Richard, the guy I'm staying with, we're high school buddies. So we've been friends all these years. It's always exciting to hang out with friends, right? Jeff says he's about to hit dead zones and lose service, so he will catch up later. Jeff, my friend, you drive safe, have safe travels, and I'll be missing you at Road Atlanta this year, buddy. So yeah, I'm excited. Go ahead.
I said, see ya, Jeff.
That's right. I'm waiting for one of your daughters back there to get a squirt gun and just come up behind you and just be like,
hi.
Hello, you should go get a squirt gun and squirt your daddy.
No, don't do that.
I don't know where it is.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Brian says you're trouble, Simcoe.
We got a little pond back there. They'll just squirt me with fucking turtle water.
I love it, man. I know if my son was there, he'd be all about it. As soon as somebody said squirt gun, he'd have disappeared and come back and been like, yeah.
Oh yeah, the last time we talked, he showed me some squirt gun he had made or something, or maybe it was a rubber band gun, something.
Out of Legos, he's still on that kick. He actually made let me get this right. The Minecraft, I guess. He thinking like Minecraft Roblox, and all those video games. But he made. Everybody knows my son's big Legos, but he made the Minecraft. I guess it's like a sword thing out of Legos. And things like this big. It's pretty big. I'm in there last night. I was like, check this out, Daddy. I was like, holy shit.
What do you guys like? It's out of Legos. You're not 3D printing them or anything.
I don't have a 3D printer. If I did, I know he would definitely use it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just all Legos. He'll go in there and sometimes he'll just come up with an idea and he'll be in his room for hours on the floor with a million Legos spread out. I got a Lego store in his bedroom, right? I wish I had all the money I spent on Legos. Man, imagine what bike I could buy with that. Anyway,
Dude, Legos are expensive.
Bro, you ain't lying. Like every time I turn around, he's like, Dad, I want this Lego kit. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking $30, $40, whatever. I show it's $250. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, man. Well, I think we got all of our Legos on a marketplace. Just go and they're like 20 pounds of Legos, $50. Like, okay.
Also hand me downs.
Yeah, I mean it's something that me and him do too together. Right? Just sit in the room and just build Legos, listen to some whatever. I love spending time with my son. Everybody knows he's the most important thing in life. Besides my wife, of course. I love you too, babe. But actually today my son is come home last night, yesterday, and I was like, I got something to tell you, Daddy. And I was like, what? What'd you do this time, right? Same thing my parents used to tell me, what'd you do this time? He's like, we have a school dance, and I asked this girl to go to the dance with me. She said yes. I was like, let's go, bro. So the dance is today after school. So we're gonna look. She got a turtle right behind you. I love it. It's a box turtle.
No, it's a red-eared slider or something.
I like it. This one's a yellow-bellied turtle. His name is Thomas. He's very friendly. Tom.
Going.
I love it. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to turtles. I love Teenage Mutant Turtles, all kinds of turtles. I remember I went to, this is off subject real quick, but I went to floating with a couple of my buddies down at the river, man, and I found this little baby turtle, and it took me about 45 minutes to catch this little bastard. It was fast as hell. I was like, holy shit. So anyway, I ended up catching it, brought it home. I kept him for about 3 days, tried to feed him. He would never eat or her. I don't know whether boy or girl. So I ended up taking a little paint, put on the back of the shell, and we let it go in our creek right down. I've always been big on pet turtles.
We got 2 of them in the pond here, and 1 million fish and 4 cats, and we used to have goats. We got 8 chickens.
I love it. Free eggs.
It's a good time.
Nothing
Free
like
eggs. Lots of eggs.
Lots of eggs. I eat the shit out of eggs.
But tomorrow the backyard will be a racetrack. The kids, open practice. The younger 4 race flat track, and so they got open practice on Sundays. So we'll be practicing in the yard all day tomorrow, and go to the track and practice Sunday, and then I'll spend aside from working, spend next week loading up for Atlanta. So got nothing but racing the next week, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then after that, he spoke upon Laguna Seca. I've been there in 05. It's the only time I've been there. First year come back. It's an amazing circuit too as well. You're gonna love it. You'll absolutely love Laguna Seca. I've never been to the Ridge, but all my friends, obviously, that race in Moto America, that go there and race, they say that it's one of their favorite tracks. So I can't.
Yeah.
Your views and opinions.
Everything I hear about the Ridge, everyone really likes the layout. They say it's a fun track, and I'm excited. You know, at this point, I've been racing since 09, so I've ridden any track that holds competition. You know, like I've ridden at almost all of them. I raced at almost all of them, and I got to check the schedule this year. But the big race they do at Loudon, man, I saw that, and they've got a hooligans class, and again, like, I've never been there, probably won't do very well, but it would be cool to ride another new track, you know? So we'll see how the season plays out. I'm definitely looking forward to Laguna, though. That's a bucket list track, you know?
Speaking of the Loudon Classic, man, I think you should show up. It's a lot of money that they're paying out, and I think it's awesome that they're having a Super Hooligan Classic race there this time. I don't see why you couldn't show up and bring you home some prize money.
Yeah, there's a lot of money, man. It's impressive how much they get. And I'm interested to find out how they do it. You know, I guess since it's a one-off event there, maybe they get a lot of local industry sponsorship, or maybe out of industry, I don't know, but they get a lot of money for it, man. And I think that's amazing. It would be really cool if they could televise it. I mean, with all the money that's in place, all the sponsorship that's there, the hype that it gets, it would be amazing if they could get, you know, some television coverage. I wish Moto America could as well. Be a lot easier to get sponsorship help, you know, if everything was out there and not on a streaming service that's
a
less
page.
than.
Yeah. No, listen, Brian, I can't agree more. I think that I always wondered how, you know, Loudon could have all this prize money, but Moto America don't pay a quarter of what the Classic pays, right? And you're right, it's probably outside sponsorships that throw in a bunch of money for that one race at the end of the year. And if it was televised, it would hype it up so much more, right? I think a lot of the problems we have too is nothing's televised on public television. It's shit on radios. There's nothing. It's either if you're not in our beautiful circus, you really don't know about it unless you have a friend that is into the sport and he turns you on to, or she, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with the Loudon race. Like, you know, I didn't know about that until maybe 2 years ago, but apparently they've been doing it forever. Like, but I think it's just the geography, you know, everything's there. It's one-off race. It's right there, so you can get a lot of local interest. I think that's why. So I raced dirt late models from 2016 to 2023. And man, there is a ton of money in dirt track racing. And, you know, I think a good bit of it is every track has their local interests. You know, there's the local plumbers, the local businesses and corporations within proximity that can actually benefit from paying money. You know, they can recoup, they can show their return on their investment. And I think just the proximity helps. And, you know, one could argue on the other side, if it's national and it actually had television coverage, then they would even get more return on their investment if they're a national company. But you just got to have the coverage, man. And I don't know anything about it. I've got friends that do audio video for television crews and movie companies and production companies. And I've talked to them about it. Not that Moto America would give a shit on my opinion about it, but you know, if you get enough people that are interested in crowdfunding to get a season televised somehow, and someone could petition to get the sponsorship help to make it happen, commercials, or so be it, then it's definitely a worthy cause. And if someone were to get their feet on the ground about it, I would help in any way I could.
Oh, 100%. It would be good for the sport all the way around. Not only the sport, but businesses that want to the friendships, sponsorships, right? I don't like the word sponsorships, but friendships to help fund it. Yeah, that's huge, because anytime you turn on the radio, I'm like you, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but there's always something about basketball, football, baseball, blah, 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 right? But imagine if we had that same thing with motorcycle racing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think, America, the landscape's been NASCAR. It's stock car racing for so long. And, I just Americans don't embrace motorcycles like the rest of the world. And, it is what it is. I don't know if that'll ever be fixed, but we can try.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know if Americans will ever be as gung-ho on motorcycles as the Europeans, for sure. But we're plumb full of it, right? Yeah, it's I always give my views and opinions, and I love Moto America about how I think they could grow and what to do different. Same thing with you, right? Whether they listen or not, who knows? They might. You never know, right? But
yeah, I mean, one thing that Moto America, they send out their viewership stats. That's all public. You can go on their website and find, all the viewership for the events and everything. That's amazing. So, I used that not this year, but last year when I was seeking out some sponsorship, and that was amazing to have on hand to send that and be like, here's the literal stats as of right now for viewership. And, I just wish it was like mainstream television, cable TV viewership, Speed TV, all the shit that we used to have back in the day.
Speed Vision, baby. Go. I love it.
Yeah, do you remember the TNN, the Nashville Network? Man, they had racing on constantly. You could watch tractor pulls, and man, you can watch Robot Wars before you watch motorcycle racing. Even and it's not just Moto America, it's flat track too. Flat track is pretty popular, and flat track, there's more money in flat track. I feel all the local guys I know that race flat track on a pro level, like, it's way cheaper and they seem to pay better.
There's money in it. You can make a living doing
it. Yeah, there's plenty of people making a living doing it. Same thing with cars, Same thing with cars.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. We can't complain about it if we can't figure out how to fix it, right?
Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. I can't say nothing to that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, even if somebody just showed up to Loudon and pulled out their cell phone or had a little tripod and put on there and just streamed it live on YouTube, would be a big help too as well. I know it's not nationally televised, but still, at least you could watch it, right? I always wondered that too, Brian. Like, how come this big event that it's not televised, but I'm sure there's a whole lot of shit that goes behind that me and you have no idea how to make all that shit happen. TV networks, pay time slots, and all that shit that I don't want to have to worry about anyway.
Right. There's to reference dirt car racing again, dirt late model racing and sprint car racing. There's what they call flow racing, and it's not televised. It's all streaming. But man, it is incredibly popular, and they set up at multiple tracks each weekend. And they live stream, and people have memberships, and then they post highlight reels and all that, like Moto America does. But they show up, and I've been to these events, and they show up with 7 or 8 camera guys in their trailer and their truck, and they set up and break down in a single night. They set up the full production, have everything ready, all their their boom trucks and everything, however they get their views. They set up the night before, and then when the race is over, they start tearing down, and they're out of there the next morning. and they get incredible viewership. And but they also have those same series. That's another argument that I've had with road racing, is in dirt car racing. If it's like a World of Outlaws race or something, you'll have super late models will be the premier class, like super bikes or something, and then you've got all these support classes. Everybody rolls in the same gate. Everybody parks themselves. Everybody does their own thing. They're in charge of their own shit, and the show goes off without a hitch. And they have like actual televised races, and they're able to do all of that. And I don't know why pro racing, and it's not just Moto America, it was AMA Pro as well,
Yeah.
DMG and whatnot. I don't know why that isn't possible for them. If other crews can do it with other motorsports, why can't they do it? And I'm sure there's answers for that, and I'm sure they got their reasoning, but I would love to be able to get it figured out somehow.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Anything to help the sport grow, right? Which is obviously televise all the events and have like have one day, one race weekend out of the year where it's a free event for the public, right? Let's say Saturday or Sunday, have a free event. Hey, everybody that shows up to Mid Ohio, Sunday is free. Come in, show up, enjoy the races, enjoy Moto America, right? I think that would also, something like that would help too as well. But then they would have to cover up the cost of, letting those people go for free.
Right. And maybe even if it were just Friday, Friday's usually practice and qualifying. People that aren't familiar could come in, get a taste of it, and maybe they would come back Saturday and Sunday and pay and tell their friends. And there's also the dealership aspect. I think we touched base on this last time, but when I bought my first street bike from a dealer, actually the only bike I ever bought at a dealer, there was information on the walls about track days and AMA Pro road racing. And, if you bought a helmet, or you bought a suit, you got gloves, and they had all these promotions and stuff. And man, I go to local dealerships around here fairly often, and there's none of that. There's no road racing banners. There's no promotions for track days. There's none of that shit. And maybe it's just got to the point where they weren't getting anything from it. There was no return. I don't know. But I feel like there's a very grassroots level where some progress could be made on all of that. But maybe I'm wrong. Fuck, I don't know.
No, you are absolutely not wrong. I've been talking about that. You will go to any local dealership, and I'm not saying all of them because there are dealerships out here, your mom and pop's dealership, and some big dealerships that do advertise, track days, that stuff. But for the majority of them, you don't see shit. There's no racing posters. There's no road racing suits. There's no road racing boots, no gloves, none of that. They don't even talk about it. All they care about at the dealership now is you show up, buy your whatever it is, and out you go. They I feel like that's a lost thing in our aspect of our beautiful sport. If all our local dealerships had something of local track day events coming up, whatever it is that people come in the public and see, especially if the salespeople say, hey, we got a track day event coming up. If you guys ever done track days, you've heard about it, blah, 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 and just give them a brochure, something, right? That'll also help turn people, because the knowledge is where it's at too, right? If people don't know it's there, then they're not going to show up. It's like that baseball movie, they will come. Right? You advertise it, they will come. Right? I think that's a missing aspect in our beautiful sport. All the dealerships, they don't advertise none of that. They don't even speak on hell. Probably 90% of the people there don't even know anything about track days. Let's just be honest, right?
Yeah. Man, what's in racing that I found amazing is you can go 10 minutes from Road Atlanta, and there'll be people who live in that area that don't know shit about the racing at that track. And it's a huge income generator for the area, and the locals don't even know it exists. It's wild, man. And that's the same thing with car racing too. We always hauled my race car on an open trailer, and we would be off an exit getting fuel, headed to a race, and people would come up and talk to us about the race car, and I'd be like, yeah, we're racing 10 minutes down the road, and they're, oh, I didn't even know there was a track there. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know there's a track there? They, let alone the noise that it makes. Like, I don't know. I don't know why that is either. I don't. Some of our local tracks, they advertise on TV. It's really cool to see a car racing commercial for a local track on TV, and they advertise on the radio and stuff. So they do a decent job, but that's another aspect. A lot of the local tracks they're at least 2 or 3 of them that I know of. The tracks are at the fairgrounds. So you've got the local fair board that's pushing that, and working with the city for their tourism board and whatnot. And they've got vested interest, and local hotels advertise and stuff. I don't know if we can get some people to work together somehow. If I become a millionaire, maybe I'll figure it out.
Dude, hey, I'm with you on that. Something as simple as a billboard.
Yeah, it's simple as
billboard. Yeah, simple as a billboard, right? Whatever it costs, $1,000 for a month, or I don't know how it works, but even a simple big billboard, man, it will help. Think about how many thousands of people are driving by that street or that road every day, right? That will see that.
Yeah. Billboards aren't crazy expensive. I remember this is probably 12, 15 years ago. I was working with the business that I was working for at the time. They were looking at advertisements for billboards, and it wasn't that bad. I just remember thinking, man, that's a lot of traffic for the $10,000 it cost or whatever. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I've advertised my business at local racetracks, and I've sponsored like little incentives for touring races and stuff. And hell, I think I had a 10x6 banner on the entry gate of a local dirt track for $300 for the whole year. And hell, I got some calls, some traffic for the business on it. If you do one job, it more, compoundly more, pays for that $300.
100%.
So
100%. Well, listen, Brian, dude, this has been a lot of fun. We're coming up on an hour into this podcast, man. Let's we'll cut this short. We'll cut this short. We'll end this podcast here in a few minutes. We'll definitely sit down after Road Atlanta. We'll do a recap of Road Atlanta. I wanted to ask you this before we get off the podcast. What is your expectations going into Road Atlanta this weekend? Yeah, this weekend coming up.
Man, I think we're going to go to Atlanta and
have fun.
We're going to have kids are fighting. No, I think we're gonna go down. We're gonna have a ton of fun. I mean, that is the goal. The ultimate goal is to have a ton of fun, and then make the show and give it our best effort. Go as fast as we can. Make improvements. Get some data on the bike. Some legitimate data. My test day was at Jennings. And Jennings flat. There's no real heavy braking. Atlanta has everything. Atlanta, if you've got a weakness in your riding or your bike, Atlanta will find it and it will exploit it. So, we're just going to learn a lot, and, I'll be the guinea pig. It'd be cool if we had some more of my bikes down there, if we were able to. I've got 2. It'd be cool if there was a rider that's better than me that could test it out. What would be really cool, and Chris Parrish is going to be down there this weekend, but it'd be badass we get Chris on a bike. He's been doing this shit long enough on SVs. He's a better rider, and he can just feel shit and make shit go fast. So it'd be cool if he were on one. Maybe we'll get him on one for Mid-Ohio. The Twins don't race there either.
Well, you never know. Chris is a legend, right? He's super cool. I don't see why he would.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll talk it over with him over some beers at Road Atlanta.
Well, listen, I want to be in on this too as well. That is something that we'll need to do up there. Are you bringing the grill so we can cook out and do all that stuff, or
me?
Yeah.
No, the RV's got a fucking stove and oven, man.
we're good then. Yeah, we're good then. I'll bring some beers. What kind of beer you drink?
I don't drink beer. I drink whiskey. I just drink Jack Daniels, man. Jack Daniels.
All right, Jack Daniels. Any particular flavor of Jack Daniels?
It's all good. It all tastes the same after the fourth or fifth one. It doesn't matter. You can start pouring Old Crow in that cup. I wouldn't know the difference.
Funny you say that. My buddy bought a bottle of Cherry Blossom.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, like I took 2 shots of that and I was like, holy shit, it was really good. But I could see myself, getting sick pretty quick off that because it's got a lot of sugar in it. But man, the flavor was really good.
Jack Daniels is pretty damn good too.
Jack Daniels what?
Honey,
yeah. I'll bring one with me, man. We'll celebrate for sure. Looking forward to it. Absolutely. Well, listen, if any of my friends out there knows any fabricators that can fabricate a set of slotted cam sprockets for a SB1000, or anybody out there that knows anybody that can do it, please either get in touch with me. You guys know how to find me. And Brian, you guys can't get in touch with Brian, get in touch with me. I'll put you in touch with Brian so we can make this happen. Really looking forward to Road Atlanta. I know you guys are going to be super successful. Brian, you're an absolute legend. What you're doing with SB 1000 SuoerFooligans. I think the concept is absolutely amazing. No, it's not a new concept, but it seems like to me right now in this day and age that we are, it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. Yeah. Right? Even though it's an older concept, it's a breath of fresh air. So you, my friend, absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to get a big old hug at Road Atlanta and throw some stuff on the grill and drink a couple shots of Jack Daniels. And already had a couple shots with Paris live on a podcast. Seeing him and Beth again, actually seeing him at Daytona.
Hell yes.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I can't wait. But listen, everybody, go to YouTube as well. Make sure you tune in. I watched the first practice. I'm going to watch the second one. I'm actually going to meet my dad at Lowe's. In the fence in my backyard. I got a whole fence that, like, it's time, right? So I'm going to chain links. Yeah, get ready to spend some money. So, yeah. Well, listen, Brian, this has been a lot of fun. It's always an honor to meet my friend. It's always an honor to have this chat. I can't wait to sit back down after Road Atlanta. So do a full recap of the whole event. Not only that, I want to sit down with you after Laguna Seca and the Ridge, basically all the races you're going to be doing this year. Just to follow up with all the progression and trophies on the wall.
What was the last thing you said, man? You cut out.
I said I'm looking forward to following your progression this season. Okay. So we'll sit down after Atlanta, after Tuna, after the Ridge, Mid Ohio, or whatever, several times this year. Do a follow up of how the whole progression is going for you this season for the SuoerFooligans. It's awesome, dude. But speaking of, are you having any shirts for sale?
Yeah, we so right now we just finished the design for the crew shirts. So we won't even have those until fucking Monday or Tuesday. And then after that, yeah, we're going to have a design. We're going to have shirts available. I don't know if they're going to be available for at Atlanta, but they definitely will be after that. We're going to have, a couple hundred of them made, and pretty excited about that too. It'll kind of give a little advertisement help back to the people that have helped with this project. So, yeah, we will have some available.
I love it. Well, just keep me in mind. Hold me a shirt. I'll buy it from you because I'd love to support my friends racing because I know how it's.
Absolutely, man.
I'll wear it on the podcast. Guys, a shout out, all that good stuff. Yeah, Brian, dude, listen, this has been awesome. I always love to sit down and do this and catch up with my friends. It was an honor today to see you smile and all that good stuff. And you're looking good too, my friend. Yeah, dude. So just give the family hugs for me. Tell them I said hello, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody at Atlanta. And yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you guys didn't catch this, it'll be go to my YouTube or my Facebook and watch it. It'll be out everywhere tomorrow and all that good stuff. So, and I'll tag in all the socials. I'm gonna let you in the podcast, but I just want to say man, thank you so much for everybody that showed me nothing but love and support. Without Brian and everybody else, I wouldn't be able to do this. So nothing but love to every single one of you guys and girls. It really means a lot to me. Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's an absolute honor. I cannot wait to see everybody at Road Atlanta. Trust me, you will not miss me, my bright pink shirt and all that good stuff. So if you see me walking around, stop by, say hi. I'll be over there with Brian and all my friends running around the paddock doing this the whole weekend. So after all the sessions are done, you will catch me over there with Brian. Grilling out, cooking out, taking a couple of shots of Jack, and having fun with it, man. Looking forward to it. But Brian, is there anything you want to say before we end this podcast?
Nah, man. We'll just see everybody at Atlanta. We'll give it a go. Have a good time. Stop by and say hey.
That's it. Show all the love and support. And so when I get off here, after I go to Lowe's, make a couple phone calls here local, see if I can figure out for you on that machine shops anywhere around here. Make that happen. So I'll do everything on my end to make it happen for you, Brian.
Perfect, man. Thank you.
Nope. Thank you, my friend. I will see you next weekend. I'll see all you guys and girls next weekend. I cannot wait. And until then, I got 2 podcasts tomorrow and 1 on Sunday. So I will see you guys twice tomorrow. One's on Sunday. So yeah. On that note, we are out. I'll see you soon. All right, Brian. I'll catch you next weekend, brother, man. See ya.
Yeah, man. Goodbye.
Daddy.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.